was one of those spectacular California days. Blue skies, white puffy clouds, majestic mountains off in the distance. We were in the San Joaquin Valley, near the town of Lindsay, about 55 miles north of Bakersfield. Our destination was an olive ranch, and not just any old olive ranch either. We were heading for the Graber Olive Ranch. Now this is where they pick Graber olives, established back in 1894. Graber olives have become famous all over the world as an unusually flavorful gourmet olive. And when you look at the pictures of the way they picked olives in the old days and compare them with the way things are done today, there's very little difference. I was given the tour of the ranch by ranch manager Howard Kirkpatrick, who's been with Graber 25 years. Then I met up with Manuel Benitez, the picking foreman, who's been there 27 years. And then I met up with Vicente Garcia, who's been with the company 40 years. In other words, there are a lot of people who've been a part of this company a long time. Now, the first thing I noticed during the tour was that all the pickers were working fast. That's 'cause they get paid by the box. Second thing I noticed was that they weren't picking all the olives off the branches. That's because for 100 years now, Graber picks only the ripe olives. They leave the green ones on the tree and come back later to pick them after they've gotten ripe. Now this is unique. Other olive companies pick all the olives, ripe and green, at the same time. So she's only picking the ripe ones. You're leaving all the green ones. Now will you come back by in 6 days and get the ripe ones?
But a week, we come back and all this here, they're ready to go. Some years we go but 7, 8 times.
Back to the same tree?
Same tree, yeah. The people making good money, they love this picking.
We do it, but this is a nice color that we want to have right there. These make the best olives in the world right there.
Really?
Really, right there, see?
Now what is it that when you see these make you, well wait a minute, this one right here is green.
Well, this one is not green. You know this turn color like this tomorrow?
Really?
They change color overnight. They really do.
Now could I eat this right now?
Oh no, you better not.
Why?
They're very acidy. They have to go through a process.
Oh, that's what we're going to see.
That's what you're going to see in Southern California. Right?
Oh, okay. So what would this make me sick?
Make you sick.
Make your mouth awful stringent. Go ahead, take a bite.
No, I'm not
I'll
going to do
you.
that. I may be from the city, but I'm not
No,
that.
the greenhorn thing is to take someone out to eat a ripe olive. Now's your chance.
Okay, so I'm a greenhorn. At least they stopped me before I ate one. And obviously there is more to olives than just growing them and picking them. So we said goodbye to our friends in the San Joaquin Valley and drove about 250 miles south to Ontario in San Bernardino County. That's where the Graber Olive House is located, where they cure, process, and can these historic olives.
Mr. Graber?
I'm Bob Graber.
Nice to meet you, sir.
So nice.
As soon as I got there, I met Bob and Betty Graber and their son, Cliff, who run the company. Bob was born on the place back in 1912. In fact, the old family home's still there. In fact, everything's still there. Now, the Graber family members had work to do, and I'd meet up with them again later. For me, I was off on the tour.
Well, Yul, I know that you were at the ranch and saw us actually picking the olives. We bring them down here on trucks in the evening, and this is the first stage of the process.
Now, what is this called right here?
This is called the grading room, and this is the grading line. The ladies that are working here on each side of the belt are looking over the olives. They're checking them for bruises and broken skins. And of course, they're pulling out any olives that aren't of the exact type of quality that we want.
Look at this room. Now, this looks like 100 years ago.
It definitely does, and it is.
Okay, let's get up here
Okay.
and take a look, because I want to see, this is called grading?
Yes.
Grading the olives.
Yes, and that's determining the olive size. As you can see, the ladies are turning the olives, feeling for any lumps. They're looking for any bruises or broken skins, and they're pulling out any of the olives that are not of the best quality.
Now, there's a green one right there.
That'll probably get pulled out.
So they would pull that one out and do what with it?
Well, some of the olives that are pulled out, they're a little underripe or a little overripe, are put aside for a special type of olive we have called the Orchard Run.
I'm going to put this one back.
Go right ahead. They'll pick it up.
They'll pick it up.
Definitely.
They must have amazing, I mean, this is something you learn. You can just spot them right away, right?
Definitely. Most of these ladies come back to us and work every harvest season. So they definitely have perfected their craft.
Now, is this being done exactly the way it would have been done years ago, except
Well, this
probably they didn't have an electric belt, but
Well, actually, the very first grater that C.C. Graber built was actually motorized by a Model T Ford engine.
Really?
So he actually did that. But this grater that we're using today was built about 1932.
it looks old. It's wonderful, though. It has so much character to it.
It does. It does.
Now, what's this?
Well, down here at the end of the conveyor belt, Huel, is the grating machine.
Now, this really looks old-timey.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, this is as basic as it gets, isn't it?
The grating machine was designed so that it sorts out all the different sizes of olives. There's nylon ropes inside of the machine that'll start off close together at the beginning and then gradually will widen apart as it goes down to the end.
So the bigger olives are at the end, the
Yes.
smaller ones, well, yeah, you can see them right down the line
Yeah,
here.
yeah. And this was actually C.C. Graber's idea to sort out the different sizes of olives. And he numbered his olives. The number system basically is that you grade them on a 1/16 of an inch. So if you have a small olive, it's going to be 10/16 of an inch in diameter.
Wow.
And you're going to work your way down until you get into a large olive, which is about 14/16 of an inch in diameter, which are these nice big ones down here.
Now, are the big ones the prize ones, or does it really make any difference?
Yes, definitely. In fact, the size 16 olive, which is the very largest olive that
These
we
are the
have.
big ones here.
Yes. We used to have waiting lists for the olives in the 16s because you didn't get too many of them. Over the last few years, though, our trees have produced nice big olives, so we have plenty of the big ones.
Boy, look at this, Louis. There's a whole big box of number 16s. Those are the big ones.
That's one big mouthful all at once, which is great. Huel, this is the vat room. This is
vat room.
the
And
vat
boy, there
room.
are 100 vats in here.
There's actually 550 vats in here. As you'll be able to see, they're made out of concrete, and they do have the lids to hold the olives down into the salt brine. There you go.
Yep, they're all full of olives.
Definitely.
Look at that.
This is where the olives have to soak in the salt brine for about 3 weeks.
So that is salt brine.
Which is a lot of salt and a lot of water.
Here's Vicente
And here's
in here.
Vicente.
Howdy. Good to see you.
Nice to see you
Now
again.
this is your main area,
This is
right?
my main area right here, yes.
Now tell me what's happening here.
Right here, we bring the olives fresh and put it on this vest to cure.
To cure.
It takes 3 weeks to cure. And we keep it here 3 weeks and clean it every day. We change water every day.
Oh, so you change the water every day
Every
for
day.
3 weeks.
Yes.
And then what happens?
And then we dip it, when they're ready, we dip it on these buckets and take it to the grader again to can.
To can.
Right.
Now what's happening here is the olives, after they've been checked, are falling into the filling wheel. The ladies that work here are hand scooping the olives into the cans. So the cans are underneath the holes here on the filling wheel.
Oh, so the cans are in here.
Yes.
And they're, okay, I see what's happening. So the canning is going on in the other room.
So the olives are being filled into the cans here, and then they go to the next room.
Oh,
Great.
look at this place. Where's all this steam coming from?
Well, these two Panama paddle packers actually have a lot of steam going on because our olives are packed in hot water. The water's about 200 degrees on top of the olives, and then the Panama paddle packers actually drop the lids and seal them onto the cans.
The Panama Paddle Packers.
Yes.
Where did that name come from?
Well, it's actually the Continental Can Company. They were created back in the 30s, which the quickest way from one point to the other was through the Panama Canal, so they named it the Panama Paddle Packer.
Boy, these things look older than the Panama Canal. This is amazing. Look at this stuff.
They're workhorses.
Wow.
And in their time, they were the very latest. Well, these do 45 cans a minute. There's machines now that'll do 1,500 cans a minute.
But you're sticking with the old...
Sticking with us with this because it's a a hand quality operation, as you saw from the grove through to the grading. So we just can't have a lot of speed. You still have to have that hand operation that's looked over closely by people.
Another old machine.
That's right. We just keep these machines going. You can get spare parts for these too.
How old is this one?
This dates from the 40s. It's kind of a youngster around here.
The 1840s or the 1940s?
1940s. Sometimes when it gives us a little trouble, you'd think it'd be 1840s.
Wow.
But it's running well today.
Well, this history never stops, does it? I mean, they're wonderful, wonderful stories
Definitely.
that just keep on going.
Yeah. And we have a good time here too. Well, we work, but it's somehow is play as well.
Was there ever a time in the history of this family-owned business that you thought about modernizing and changing and getting into mass production and all of that sort of thing?
Well, we've been asked many times, why don't we do that? But we feel that it's a hands-on business, and we feel if we branch out, we might lose control of our quality. So we do all we can, the best we know how, and the best quality.
Keeping it quality rather than quantity.
Right. It's worked out.